Good.
So, are you from New Orleans, or did you
Yeah,
just go to?
born and raised. Went to Brother
Could
Martin.
could you talk about your experience of like getting out of college and like what was going through your mind at the time,
Okay.
and or like any of the opportunities or experiences that like came through your life at
Yeah.
that period?
After I went to UNO, the first thing we did, like I said earlier, was we made a film. Like I had some friends, we got together, we're like, we're gonna make a film. It's probably a lot easier for, I hate to say this, your generation, but kids like you to do that because you have access to things that we never had access to, like your own editing equipment, and you can buy a camera for $5,000 or less now. You can buy a great video camera for $5,000 that they'll show films at Sundance. When I was coming up, they wouldn't show videos at Sundance. Now they will. So the first thing I did was shooting a feature, but that was a lucky sort of break. Friends putting something together, and that was an awesome learning experience. But really, how I made money and started was, I started off as a PA. Just a friend of mine was working on a show. They came to when I was at UNO. They came to UNO looking for PAs to work on a project. And I got hired for a day, and then I got asked back. So that was great. I have a job. Started off doing that, and then camera assisting. I camera assisted for a while, and just really went to New York and learned how some of the cameras worked, and bought all the camera assistant books that I could to try to figure out how all this equipment works, and started taking a few little jobs. I started working on some small music videos, just local, like a guy, a camera guy who I found. I don't even know how I heard about the job, probably through school or something like that. Just started working, work as much as I can, just get a job as a camera assistant. That was my main goal. Just okay, I just want to work. And I did that for 5 years here in New Orleans after I graduated from college.
Did you work other jobs as well to get money?
No, New Orleans is a great city in that, at the time I had I was living in Gentilly. I paid $200 a month for rent, so I had to work 2 days a month to make my rent. So that was pretty awesome. And I just really focused on doing that and just working my own little art projects and stuff like that at the time. So I just tried to work really as much as I can and learn as much as I can from different people. And I worked on some I got in, it's always good to, want to get asked back. So I started working for this one guy. I shot a rap video with him first, and then he ended up doing all these documentaries. So it was a really small crew. It was 5 of us. It was the cameraman, the director, me, who was the AC, and the sound guy, and a producer. And I worked on, I don't know how I even got this job. Just worked for this guy a couple of times. He called me up. It's we're going to Colombia. We're going to shoot a documentary about Pablo Escobar. I'm yeah, awesome. I'm in, totally. So I just started working for this guy, and I worked for him for 3 or 4 years. And as I sort of learned the craft and day played on little movies here and there, a lot of movies that came into town, or music videos for a day or two, just pick up little work as much as I could. And again, learned as much as I could from as many people, and it's a pretty small community. It's probably a little bit bigger now than it was then, but that's a good thing for you guys, that you can work, and there's a lot of films going on in town. And just get in with people and be a nice guy, and do what they say and listen and all that sort of stuff. It wasn't that hard to continue working. Basically, don't be a dick is the kind of rule that just shut up and learn. And I did that as much as I could. And
When did you move from New Orleans out to another place? Or was it the right opportunity at the right time?
Well, after about 5 years after about probably 4 years of being a camera assistant and doing a little DP jobs here and there, little cinematography jobs here and there on music videos, rap videos and stuff for my friends or whatever, and talking to all the guys in the business, I realized okay, talking to this guy who shot all these movies of the week that came into town. He's a cinematographer, and I was what do you make a week? What do you make a day? And it was forgot what it was, like maybe like $700 a day or $700 a week or whatever it was. I was like, that's pretty good, but I want to make more than that. So it's like, what do I got to do? It's like, well, you gotta go to Hollywood, So I didn't really plan on going to Hollywood. I never wanted to be a Hollywood producer or move to California. I like being from New Orleans and I love living here. So I applied to film school. And that's, when I applied to AFI, I only applied to one school, and I knew it was really hard to get into. They only take like 25 cinematographers and 25 directors and like 9 editors every year for their program. So I was like, okay, I'll just, on an outside chance, I'll try out for this. And I went to the school and kind of liked it, and sort of moved into directing. And then I got a really lucky shot after, my thesis film made it into Sundance, which it was like an AFI film hadn't been in Sundance in like 9 years before that film was, and it was just like a really lucky shot, and it was, it just sort of happened, from working as hard as I could on the ideas that I had and whatever, and it's a little bit of luck and a lot of, just learning as much as I could about the craft, because I knew this is all I really wanted to do, and I knew the sort of area that I was in, like literally at home in my garage right now. I still have my AC kit ready to go in case I need to go AC again. I know I won't, but it's sort of like that's the mentality. I'm like, okay, I love this job, and I would love to go camera assist again, just to kind of, it's a fun job. I enjoyed the work, so I don't know if that really answers the question.